are standing in a room you cannot see. No walls, no ceiling, no floor. Just a field, silent, limitless humming with possibility. It stretches in all directions, unbroken. This is not imagination. It is the actual fabric in which your life unfolds. Every thought you think, every emotion you generate, every subtle belief that lingers beneath your awareness, it all ripples through this field, leaving impressions. You've been told the universe is vast, cold, indifferent, that life unfolds by chance or force. Yet here is the paradox: the field listens, always. It listens to the signal you broadcast, not the one you wish you were sending, but the one you actually carry. The tone of your inner state becomes the blueprint the quantum field reflects back as your reality. Most people believe they need to wrestle life into shape to push their way into the outcomes they desire. They mistake action for alignment, confusing effort with influence. They layer affirmations over fear, goals over doubt, vision boards over buried resentment. In the visible world, that looks like productivity. In the quantum field, it reads as static, conflicting signals canceling each other out. This is the first truth: your life is not shaped by the volume of your doing, but by the purity of your signal. The field doesn't care about the number of hours you spend trying. It cares about coherence, the matching of thought, feeling, and frequency into one steady vibration. Consider the tuning fork. Strike one fork, and another nearby begins to hum in resonance. The second fork doesn't have to be hit. It simply responds to the vibration it detects. The quantum field operates in the same way. It is not judging or withholding, it is resonating. When your inner state matches the frequency of what you want, the field hums with you, drawing matching realities into form. You've likely felt this without naming it. Days when everything seems to flow. Green lights, unexpected opportunities, effortless conversations. You didn't push for those moments. You tuned into them. Your nervous system relaxed. Your mind released its grip. The signal you carried was open, coherent, magnetic. The fastest way to experience a shift is not to pile more on top of yourself. It's to remove what's distorting your broadcast. Stress, fear, guilt, and old stories clutter the signal like dust on glass. Clarity isn't added, it's revealed. When you dissolve interference, the light shines through. You might ask, if it's this simple, why doesn't everyone do it? Because simplicity is deceptive. The mind thrives on complexity. It craves a problem to solve, a path to conquer. The ego survives by keeping you busy, by convincing you that power lies somewhere else in someone else's hands. In truth, the field is here now. The listening is constant. Your influence begins the moment you choose to bring thought, emotion, and energy into harmony. Even a single breath taken in presence alters your signal. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your awareness expanding beyond your skin. Feel the subtle vibration beneath your heartbeat. Picture it radiating outward in all directions. This is the language the field understands. No words, no demands, just frequency. If you want a reality that feels light, you become light. If you want abundance, you embody sufficiency before a single dollar appears. If you want love, you hold the frequency of connection before anyone walks into the room. This isn't pretending or faking. It's not about forcing yourself to feel positive. It's about choosing the truth beneath the noise. The truth is that you are already connected to everything you seek. You are not summoning it from a distance. You are tuning to what's already here. So pause. Notice the state you're in right now. Is your body tense? Is your mind racing? This is the signal you're broadcasting. Not yesterday's meditation. Not tomorrow's plan. This moment's frequency. The field hears it. The moment you shift it, you alter the shape of what's on its way to you. That is the fastest way to a quantum shift. Stop wrestling the field into compliance and let your coherence invite it to meet you where you are steady, clear, aligned. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast lake at night. The surface is perfectly still, a mirror for the stars above. You toss a pebble in and ripples race outward, touching every point along the shore. In the quantum field, every thought, every emotion you release is that pebble. The ripples move through unseen waters, influencing realities far beyond the moment they were formed. The subconscious mind is where most of your pebbles come from. You think you are directing the ripples with conscious intention, yet the greater force lies beneath patterns scripted long ago, looping without your awareness. They hum with their own frequency, projecting into the field even when your conscious mind is busy elsewhere. You can speak affirmations of worthiness all day, yet if your subconscious holds the imprint, "I am unworthy," the ripples carry that instead. The field responds not to your words, but to the frequency of your deepest held state. This is why some people work relentlessly toward change, yet see only slight shifts. They are trying to send a new signal while an older, stronger one hums beneath it. Quantum manifestation begins by entering that hidden terrain, not to wrestle with it, not to battle the shadows, but to bring light where you have forgotten you can look. The subconscious is not an enemy, it is an archive. Within it are memories inherited, beliefs, emotional imprints, and energy signatures you once needed to survive but no longer serve you. Imagine your subconscious as a darkened room filled with forgotten instruments. Some are still in tune, ready to play the song of your next chapter. Others are warped, holding the dissonance of old stories. Every instrument hums into the field, whether you notice or not. The work is not to smash them, but to retune. You begin by listening. Close your eyes. Notice the feelings that arise in stillness. Watch the thoughts that surface without being summoned. Do not argue with them. Simply observe the vibration they carry. Is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it hopeful? You are learning to hear the hum of your own signal. In quantum physics, there is the observer effect. The act of observing a particle changes its behavior. In consciousness work, the same principle holds. When you observe a hidden pattern without judgment, you shift its frequency. The light of awareness alters the old note, making space for a new resonance. Sometimes the shift is immediate. A single moment of recognition: I've been carrying my mother's fear, not mine, and a weight dissolves. Other times, it is like slowly tuning a string, turning the peg until the dissonance fades. Either way, you are reclaiming authorship of the ripples you send into the field. Here is the truth. Most avoid the quantum field cannot be tricked. You cannot disguise a fearful vibration with polished words or a smiling face. The signal is pure energy. It bypasses your mask. This is why genuine transformation begins with honesty. To change your broadcast, you must meet yourself where you are fully. Think of the subconscious as the soil of your reality. You can plant new seeds only if the ground is ready. If it's tangled with roots of doubt and fear, the new shoots struggle. You clear the soil by pulling up what no longer belongs, blessing the space and planting with intention. Every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you are shifting the soil. Every time you breathe through an old fear instead of feeding it, you are retuning the instrument. Every time you choose a thought that expands instead of contracts, the ripples in your lake change course. In the quantum realm, nothing is truly fixed. Particles blink in and out of form. Possibilities rearrange with each shift in observation. When you work with the subconscious, you are stepping into this dance, dissolving the structures that once felt immovable, opening to a reality that feels lighter, truer, more aligned. The fastest way to a quantum shift is not to leap into a different life overnight, but to shift the vibration at its source. When the subconscious hum changes, the field cannot help but rearrange around it. What once felt out of reach begins to feel inevitable, not because the world has softened, but because your signal has become unmistakable. You stand before an invisible bridge, one foot on the ground of everything you've known, the other poised above an expanse of light you've yet to cross. This is the place between quantum physics and spiritual awakening, the narrow threshold where science meets soul. Most people glance at it and turn away, unsure how to step forward without losing their balance. Yet the crossing is simpler than you imagine, and the moment you take it, the world will never look the same. Quantum theory tells us that, at the smallest scale, matter is not solid. What you call things are vibrating patterns of energy existing in probability until observed. Spiritual awakening tells us that your identity, yourself, is not fixed either. It's a story you've been observing for years, a construct maintained by the same focus that turns particles into form. Both truths whisper the same message: reality is fluid, and you are part of the flow. To bridge these realms, you must stop treating them as separate. There is no hard border between the lab and the temple, the formula and the prayer. Both are languages describing the same field. One speaks in equations, the other in symbols. Your role is to become fluent in both, so you can translate the energy you sense into the reality you live. Imagine walking across a rope bridge in the mist. Each step is a choice to trust what you cannot yet see. Beneath you, the planks are the principles you've already learned: coherence between heart and mind, the observer effect, the vibrational nature of thought. Above you, the ropes are ancient teachings, the alchemy of transmutation, the law of correspondence, the truth that as within, so without. Together they hold you as you move from one shore to the other. When you breathe with awareness, you're not just calming your body, you're altering the field's resonance around you. When you release a limiting belief, you're not just thinking differently, you're collapsing one probability and opening another. These are not metaphors, they're measurable shifts. The bridge is walked in small, deliberate steps that feel both mystical and grounded. The crossing demands presence. If your mind rushes ahead or clings to the shore, you sway. This is why most fail to complete the bridge. They try to drag the old world across with them. The ego resists dissolution, clinging to labels, roles, and outcomes. Yet to awaken is to loosen your grip on the old form, letting yourself be reshaped by what you meet in the mist. As you move, you'll notice the bridge itself changing. The more you release, the more solid the path becomes. Your inner alignment begins to generate the stability you once sought outside yourself. This is the paradox: you thought you needed proof before stepping forward. But it is the stepping that brings proof. There will be moments when the mist clears and you glimpse the expanse ahead, possibilities so luminous they almost frighten you. This is not the time to retreat. The fear is only the echo of your old identity dissolving. Breathe it through. Let it unravel. Each unraveling frees more of your energy to create in the quantum field with clarity and precision. On the far side of the bridge, you don't just believe in the connection between science and spirituality, you embody it. You understand that the equations of quantum mechanics are the blueprints for miracles, that ancient symbols are instructions for tuning consciousness. You live in a way that feels both deliberate and surrendered. Deliberate in what you choose to observe, surrendered in how the field responds. In this space, manifestation is no longer a ritual you perform. It's the natural byproduct of your being. You choose your frequency. You hold it with integrity, and reality organizes itself accordingly. The gap between wanting and having narrows not through force, but through coherence. The bridge is no longer something you walk, it becomes the ground you live on. From here, the real journey begins. You've stepped into a life where every moment is a conversation with the field, every breath, a recalibration of your signal, every thought, a choice point. You no longer wonder if you are connected. You feel it in your bones. The bridge has disappeared behind you, yet you carry it within, ready to extend it for others when they stand where you once stood. The moment you step onto this new ground, you begin to notice something profound. Reality is not only responding to you, it has been patterned by you all along. Every event, every encounter carries the signature of your subconscious blueprint. It's as if you've been living inside a house whose walls are painted with invisible ink, the patterns only revealing themselves when the right light hits them. Now that light is everywhere, your subconscious is the architect you've rarely met face to face. It drafts the plans for your days, selects the materials for your relationships, even determines the layout of your opportunities. The conscious mind thinks it's in charge, moving furniture around, adjusting curtains, swapping out rugs. Yet the floor plan, your deeper reality, remains unchanged until you alter the blueprint itself. These blueprints were written in many languages. Some were drawn in childhood, shaped by the way you were taught to see yourself in the world. Others were etched by experiences that left strong emotional imprints, moments of triumph, moments of betrayal. Still others are not yours at all. They are inherited, passed down through family lines as subtle fears, hopes, or compulsions. In the quantum field, these imprints vibrate continuously, broadcasting to a responsive universe. It's not punishment nor reward. It's resonance. The field doesn't judge it, simply matches. If your blueprint hums with scarcity, the field delivers conditions that confirm it. If it hums with abundance, it answers in kind. The first step in reprogramming is awareness. Yet awareness alone is not enough. Many become aware of their patterns, but remain trapped in them, like someone staring at a map, yet refusing to move. Awareness must be coupled with choice, and choice in this realm is not a mental declaration, but a vibrational decision. Think of the subconscious as a vast library. Some books are outdated, holding information that no longer serves you. Others are filled with wisdom you've barely opened. Reprogramming is not burning the library down, it's curating your shelves. You take out the volumes that tell stories you no longer wish to live, and you place on the front table the ones that align with the reality you choose to create. This work is not forceful, it is precise. You cannot yell at an old belief to leave. You must invite it into the light. Thank it for what it once protected you from, and release it with a new directive. In the field of quantum manifestation, gratitude is a form of transmutation. It changes the frequency of what you release, allowing the space to be filled with something coherent rather than chaotic. Visualization, when used here, is not about wishing. It is about imprinting the blueprint with a new design. You hold the image of the reality you choose, not as a far-off hope, but as a felt truth in the now. You rehearse the emotional resonance of already living it until that frequency hums as your new normal. The subconscious, always listening, begins to adjust its architecture accordingly. The changes may appear subtle at first, a conversation that flows more easily, a door opening where it used to be locked. Yet these are not small shifts. In the quantum field, the tiniest change in frequency alters the entire trajectory of what unfolds. This is why the fastest way to experience a quantum shift is not to change everything at once, but to change the one thing at the core, your signal. As you refine your blueprint, you will notice old circumstances losing their grip. People who once mirrored your limiting patterns may drift away. Opportunities that match your higher frequency appear without struggle. The field is not giving you more, it is matching your upgraded resonance. This is the art of conscious creation. You stop reacting to the conditions around you and start designing from within. The external becomes a reflection, not a dictator. Life shifts from being something that happens to you into something you are actively composing, note by note, frequency by frequency. Eventually, the blueprint becomes self-sustaining. The new patterns are no longer something you must remember to enforce. They are who you are. The subconscious and conscious move in harmony, the architect and decorator working together to shape the same home. The field, recognizing the coherence, responds with precision and speed that once felt impossible. And then you realize the blueprint was never separate from the field. Both are expressions of the same energy, your energy woven into form. Change the energy, and you change the house. Change the house, and you change the horizon beyond it. It begins as the smallest of shifts, a tilt in how you interpret a glance, a pause before reacting, a subtle softening in how you meet what's before you. Perception is not just the lens you look through. It is the switch that turns entire realities on or off. The quantum field does not simply mirror your actions. It bends itself to the way you see, the way you feel, the way you choose to define what's unfolding. You've been taught to think of perception as passive, a byproduct of what happens around you. Yet in truth, it is the most active force you wield. Two people can stand in the same moment. One sees an obstacle, the other an opening, and the field will deliver different outcomes to each. Not because reality plays favorites, but because reality listens to the narrative carried in your perception. When you shift your perception, you change the information you feed the field. Instead of signaling, "This is hard, this is hopeless," you begin to signal, "This is shaping me, this is aligning me." The field responds in kind, not through magic, but through coherence. It delivers more of what aligns with the frequency you hold, even if that frequency began as nothing more than a choice to see differently. Perception is the hinge between the seen and unseen. From the unseen flows possibility, from the seen form. Your focus determines which possibilities cross the hinge. This is why paying attention is an act of creation. Every moment you spend observing what strengthens you is a moment you are locking that strength into your reality. Every moment you dwell on what drains you is a moment you are scripting more of it into existence. It is tempting to wait until the external changes before you change your view. Yet in quantum terms, that's like waiting for a mirror to smile before you do. The shift must happen within first. Perception is the seed. Reality is the bloom. You don't plant only after you see flowers, you plant to see them grow. Your senses can be retrained for this. Begin by noticing the moments when your body contracts, when you tense, resist, or brace. These are signals that your perception has tilted toward fear or scarcity. Pause. In that pause, ask, what else could this mean? What am I not yet seeing? By opening that question, you open the hinge, allowing new possibilities to cross from potential into form. Soon, this becomes second nature. You find yourself meeting uncertainty with curiosity, instead of dread, seeing challenge as initiation rather than punishment. Each of these shifts recalibrates your signal in the field. The more often you hold that signal, the more your external world begins to reorganize itself to match it. From here, perception becomes more than a tool. It becomes your way of being. You live as if every encounter holds a code. Every moment is part of a dialogue with the quantum field. You walk through the world aware that your attention is currency, and where you spend it, life invests back into you. This is the fastest way to experience a quantum shift, not by chasing change, but by embodying the perception that change has already taken place. When you live from that truth, the field catches up quickly. The shift is not in the future. It is here, pulsing through, the way you see this very moment. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are willing to see as already yours. Think of perception as the tuning dial on an old radio. The station you hear isn't the only one broadcasting, it's simply the one you've tuned into. Shift the dial, and a new world of sound emerges, though it was always in the air around you. Here is a simple daily ritual to shift your energy, expand perspective, and train your mind toward possibility. One mindful choice at a time. 1. Start each day by naming the frequency you choose to hold. 2. Reframe one problem daily into a potential gift or lesson. 3. Practice the pause before reaction. Ask what else could be true. 4. End each night by noting 3 moments where your perception opened instead of closed. You carry the switch within you. No gatekeeper, no permission slip, no delay. The field listens to your perception now, not someday. By holding the view that aligns with who you choose to be, you make that version of reality inevitable. If this shift has stirred something in you, I invite you to share one word in the comments, your chosen frequency for the days ahead. Let it be a quantum seed you plant here and within yourself. Subscribe to join a movement of conscious creators, each refining the way we see, so we can reshape what's possible together. You are not just in the universe observing it from the outside. You are woven into its fabric perception. By perception choice, by choice. Change the way you see, and the universe must change the way it meets you.